Hi, this is Andrew Porter. This is my first video about Red Quick Builder 2. There is no Red Quick Builder 1, but since this was based on a library I made called Red Quick, I just decided to tick up one major version, I guess. I don't even know what I'm going to say right now. I'm just going to start talking. So a while back I had an idea. I just wanted to automate my job as a software engineer. So I figured let me take all the knowledge that I've acquired and see if I could build a UI that could effectively build the UIs that I build at work like every day. So this is what I got so far. I was gonna do videos like this when this thing was actually done, but nothing ever gets done. So I'm just gonna start making videos about it now. I guess I'll just go through the basics. Basically, this is a electron.io app that I just kind of whipped together. And I guess I'll just do some quick stuff here. For example, you can, when I create apps, I usually talk about like what kind of models you have. So like you have like an item, which is a model, and I pin it, I get this sort of node. And then if I create another one, and I'll call that like it's an agent. So like this is going to be somebody in the system who can do something, which is also technically a model. And then we'll make another one for users. So like if a person actually logs into the system, then they are a user. So I got 3 nodes. They really don't do anything yet, but start adding some details to them. So like the user is a user in the system, and the agent is an agent in the system. And since an agent is basically like a role of a user, but a little bit different, I assign them. So now I have like this connection, this logical connection between users and agents. And then if I take this item, and then like eventually when there's a UI, I'm going to want to be able to select these items or get a bunch of these items based on an ID. And then I want to have a user agent be able to call that endpoint that's going to get that. I made this thing that can just sort of set up a basic sort of setup. I'll probably talk more about what all this stuff means, but at least at the moment I just have to like sort of do a free flow of ideas. So this thing is a graph. You have a user, you have an agent, you have an item, and you have this thing which is actually a method for an endpoint for a controller. A method that would exist on a controller, which has this thing called a maestro, which for me, a maestro is basically like where in the system you make decisions about when you can do things. So like, can a specific agent get like the items out of the database? Things like this basically are like your sort of decision tree. So like they define like methods for getting permissions, and then you have like a model filter, which is there to like filter out parts of the model that you don't want to show. So like an agent is just a model, so like I can add like some default properties to it, and that should give me something like that. That's weird. I'll have to check that out. Obviously, this thing has tons of problems in it, but that's okay. But anyways, like the end result after I make like a graph is like I get code out of it. So like I should have a controller, which is like a normal standard like MVC, ASP.NET, or not ASP.NET, .NET Core endpoint with some descriptions. I need to give it like a namespace like smash.v or v bomb for whatever reason, smash bomb, and then say like use this stuff. And you have like the models that can be created. You have your Maestro thing that was doing what we were talking before. So like it writes a function that can like get specific items out of like a database somewhere. And like this is part of my right click library. Like these arbiters are basically good at getting stuff or creating stuff or deleting stuff or updating stuff in your database and things like that. So yeah, this has been a really horrible video about what exactly is going on. So I'm just going to keep trying to do these things and talk about what I do every day. Cool.